So guys, in today's video, I will be sharing with you my #1 most favorite perfume brand discovery of 2020. And I know at this point you might be wondering, why so late, Yana? And do you know what? It's better late than never. I'm actually very excited to share with you why this is the #1 brand of 2020. So make sure to keep on watching to find out all the details about it. But before we get started, I would like to ask everyone who is new here or hasn't subscribed yet to my channel, please do that, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because then you will really help my channel to grow and to push this video so many people will discover this perfume collection with us. And once you're done with that, we can get started! Hello everyone and welcome back! I'm really excited about this video. I've been waiting to film it for such a long time, and usually I post these videos by the end of the year, but it took me a while to collect all fragrances from my #1 most favorite perfume brand discovery of 2020, which is called Contradictions in Ilk Perfumes. And actually I had an amazing opportunity not only to discover the entire range last year, but actually have very cool interview with their co-founder Annabella on my IGTV, which you can watch, and I highly recommend you to do that, because in it she really broke down all the stories of the fragrances, shared her background, and she is such charismatic and talented, a very lovely lady that you will get lots of positive energy from her. So make sure to check out that interview on my Instagram. All the helpful links also to their website you will find down below in the description box. But I also want tell you a little bit about their concept. So basically, ilk is an old Scottish word with varied interpretations over the centuries, and their interpretation is the essence of who we are. So contradictions in ilk is referring to the contradictions in who we are, which is exactly what they wish to celebrate with their collection of layarable scents inspired by human nature. So there are 8 fragrances in their collection, and yes, they are designed to layer together, and I'm a big fan of layering fragrances. But at this point you might be like, oh, we've heard about layerable perfumes like 100 times, and that's true. But you know what's different about this brand is that their fragrances are not very simple, you know, like others are almost one molecule perfumes. So you really need to have many to layer and create kind of like a perfume with help of them. Each and single one of these is complex fragrance on its own, and to layer them is so much fun. I actually layer all fragrances, I don't care, I just can't get enough, and that's why I even create episodes in which I feature fragrances that go well together. So with that being said, I was really excited for their concept and to discover their fragrances in the amazing sample set that is available on their website, and I highly recommend you guys to check it out, because there is something for everyone, and I will sum it all up in the end of the video. But enough of rambling, let's jump right in, because there are so many interesting fragrances to discover and discuss, and I want to start with the one that is called Fantasist, and I have it in this travel size format. So basically there are 8 fragrances that are broken kind of in 2 pairs, so there are 4 pairs, and in this one we have fragrance that is called Fantasist, and that's the one I want to start with, because this is a fun one that will transport you to the night at the circus. It opens up with really mouth-watering scent of grapefruit. There is almost something zesty and tingling like rhubarb and cannabis. But you know what? In the heart there is jasmine and coffee, and in the base musk, tonka, incense and pink praline. So that sweetness in the base makes it almost gourmand, but the amazing flashy citrusy zestiness still stays even till the dry down, and the dark of coffee, it really makes you feel like you are in the circle and you don't know where to look at, because everything is so exciting and really sparkling that, yeah, Fantasist is the one with Hat in the Clouds with many different dreams. And yeah, it's very stimulating and refreshing and mouth-watering juicy. So I think it's great for warmer days. It's perfectly unisex as all these fragrances, and it's for those who miss creativity and fun wow effects in fragrances. But you will find Realist as its counterpart, and it's a total opposite to Fantasies. It's the one that stays close to the ground, or better to say to the ocean, because this is an aquatic perfume. And I would say that although I am not the biggest fan of aquatic perfumes, actually marine fragrances are my least favorites, this might be the best one from this genre, if not the best. I really like the opening of this fragrance. There are many citrusy notes, lemon, yuzu, pepper and bergamot, but it's really fresh. It makes you feel the beautiful saltiness in the air, so it transports you to the seaside. It's crisp, it smells of mountain air in the morning, but you know what, with this fragrance you will experience sea during the day. So as it develops on the skin, and this one goes through many changes, it turns really salty, and you will get the depth of the ocean, you will get a lot of this marine watery vibe. And it's salty for sure, it's definitely ocean or sea, and by the evening you will be left with almost like salt on the seaweed and wood and stones and sand. So this is really deep, really watery fragrance, rather masculine or perfectly unisex, I'm not sure, but I can tell you that if you love fragrances in Acqua di Gio style, then you can really, you know, elevate your marine fresh routine with this fragrance. And this is an amazing pair that they pair, please correct me about pronunciation, that they recommend to layer, which I'm about to do. So if you layer a Realist over Fantasies, so let's spray a little bit of Fantasies, then you will get kind of like a greener, fresher scent. And if you do it another way around, then you will be left with very fruity scent. So I highly recommend this pair to those who prefer fresher perfumes that, you know, are quite atmospheric, because both of them are. But let's move on to the second pair, which is so much fun, and this next fragrance blew me away. I was shocked as I smelled it, which you can see in my first impressions in that interview with Annabella. Highly recommend you to check it out. This fragrance that is called Infatuated is something very special, and I remember how she told the story of this fragrance, which was kind of inspired by the moment when teenager falls in love with the teacher, and so he's daydreaming laying on the grass, and only the whiff of ginger crumble with pear wafting from kitchens can break the train of his thought. So it's that fragrance when you kind of got carried away by chewing on the rubber pencil, thinking how teachers' lips can taste like. I know, it sounds so interesting and special, and it is. And actually this is one of those fragrances that features many notes I don't like in perfumes, such as juniper, saffron and lavender, but I don't really get those. I get a lot of cedar wood. If you like cedar wood, you need to smell it, first of all. Second of all, this is very complex perfume with many different nuances. There is apple blossom, pear custard, pepper, lots of these kind of like rubbery notes and woody nuances. There is even vanilla, sandalwood, frankincense and oud. But you know, I like the sweetness from the pear ginger crumble that comes through later after the cedar wood. There are many different nuances, and they're all hidden somewhere in this composition. So it's a lot of fun to wear it, to smell it, to just experience it throughout the day. It's very long lasting, it's a lot of fun, and it's for those who really miss wow effects in the perfumes. You know, you want really strong emotions, you will get it with Infatuated. I would say it is perfectly unisex, and I think it's also great for any type of occasion. I would recommend it for colder days. I don't know why, but It's just something very, very special and cool. And something that it is paired with is nonchalant, which I would say is its opposite. And this is fragrance for the lovers of berry perfumes, because main notes in here to me are raspberries and brandy. And basically this fragrance was inspired by the dressing room of the first black film star, world-renowned dancer, bisexual, wartime spy, and American expat living in Paris, Josephine Baker. And in this fragrance you can smell the beautiful red berries that she eats, and afterwards she drinks brandy, and you can also smell the powder that she applies on her skin and many different flowers in her boudoir. You might remember this fragrance from my December's episode of the best fragrance of the month, because it got featured in it, and I love this fragrance for the boozy, for the raspberry, fruity and powdery vibe. Those are elements I'm looking for in the fragrance, and I can find it in here. It's long lasting. It smells really, really good on the skin, and it will just transport you to the better place than where you are. So these two can be layered together too, and you can try layer nonchalant on top of infatuated, which I actually want to do for spicy berry twist, but you can do it another way around for dark woody ambery finish, and doesn't matter how you do that, the result is going to be fabulous. Alrighty then, let's move on to probably my favorite pair. Actually, it's very hard to choose between the two pairs, the previous one and this upcoming one, in which fragrance Devious is the one I think from the entire collection will be most mass appealing one, because you know what it is about? Well, it is about drunken cherries and bitter almond. So it's a boozy fragrance for the time when you have some crazy thoughts on your mind, for the time when you want to have fun, because this fragrance is extremely mass appealing, and it is powdery, it is sweet, it is very boozy, it smells so good and so special, with notes of bergamot, bitter almond, amaretto, cherry liqueur, nutmeg, cardamom, tonka, vanilla and sandalwood. I think it's for the time when you're going out, when you want to attract people and when you want lots of compliments, because they will definitely ask you what fragrance are you wearing if you have some Devious on. I think what makes it very special and to stand out from other bitter almond cherry fragrances is the addition of cardamom. It's green, it's velvety, and it is spicy, and it is so damn good. This is a daring fragrance, and just in case you're wondering, is it similar to Lost Cherry? The answer is yes, but it is better. So this is one of those I recommend to get anyway, because it is fantastic. It is super unisex, and it is just like, oh, like cherry on pie. But in its company you will find Sincere, which is so much different from bold and loud Devious that kind of wants you to party and to enjoy life. Sincere will make you feel good from within. This is such a comforting and cozy fragrance that is super dear to my heart, that was inspired by mother's love, or the first burning flush of giving your heart to love another. And this is a lactonic perfume. Many lactonic perfumes can be a little bit too heavy. This one is pure milk with peach nectar, with ylang ylang and orris, with beautiful coconut musk, and you know, just creamy nuances. It is so good, like a warm blanket on a cold day. I love it. I think it's straight masterpiece. It is so well balanced. It's like nothing else out there. It makes my heart so warm, and I truly love it for all the feelings that it gives to me. I think it's unisex, a bit more feminine, and it's definitely for the time when you need kind of like this fragrance that will cheer you up and lift you up. So these two can be layered, of course, with each other. So you can try to layer Devious on top of Sincere for true amaretto sour effect, but I want to do it another way around for pure almond and cream lift. So these two are fantastic and I highly recommend you guys to get them. And finally, let's move on to the last but not least pair, and in here we have fragrance that is called Virtuous, and this is an aromatic one, but it's not as oceanic as, for example, another aromatic fragrance from this collection, Realist, that we've spoken about in the beginning. This one is rather herbal, and you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of herbal fragrances. However, this one doesn't smell of you know, like herbs. It has more of a tea vibe. It is very fresh and singy, and it was actually inspired by the beautiful Carthusian monks in Tuscany countryside. So there is note of clary sage, and I think that what makes me think of tea. And there is wormwood, there is thyme, there is oak wood with moss, and I think it's for the time when you want to calm down, you know. It's very formal scent that you can wear to office, to work. You can actually have so much use of it. It's very universal, very unisex, very layarable actually. It has almost like minty, cool, down-to-earth vibe. So yeah, it's quite grounding, and its opposite is Libertine. Libertine is one for the time when you not only want to have fun, when you want to liberate yourself. And it was inspired by one of the most famous libertines of all time, which is of course Casanova, who was lacking in moral principles and sense of responsibility or sexual restraint. And I really like the vibe of this fragrance because it has a lot of bitter orange in there, and something very boozy, something waxy, something rosy too. This rose is interesting because it's like a heavy, sexy, a little bit animalic rose with just a hint of leather. Yet bitter orange is probably the most dominant note in here. So it's a little bit sweet too, and it smells like the best date you could ever had in Italy, maybe even ending up in the ancient library with candles on, and you're dancing with the glass of warm spicy cognac in one hand, another hand you have you know, kind of like on the neck of your lover, and you know it's all bad and it's not right, but you don't care. You are having time of your life. This perfume liberates. This perfume is great for winter just because there is some mystery to it, and I love it a lot. It's another one that I would love to have in full size. It's very good, and these two fragrances can be layered together. I think these are the biggest opposites, and probably that's why it's very fascinating to layer them. So to double Libertine over Virtuous would actually give you more intense hint of brandy and orange. And alternatively, if you flip them, you will get more of this stone rose effect. So it doesn't matter which way you do layer them, you will have this heady aromatic experience. It was a longer video just because I wanted to give you in-depth information regarding the brand, its concept, its background, and also about each and single fragrance individually. And I guess that was my entire breakdown of Ilk perfumes. So once again, there is this discovery set. I highly recommend to first of all get yourself one. If you're outside of UK, I noticed that they are in Douglas shop, so make sure to check them out. I just really stand behind this brand that was founded by two amazing women, Annabelle and Holly. And you know what I love about this brand is that their fragrances are creative, of good quality, they are addictive, and they are like nothing else out there. So they are mass appealing too, and that's all you can wish from the niche brand that is environmental friendly. I love their wooden caps that are sourced from the environmental friendly wood, if I'm not wrong, modern bottles, and super duper beautiful photos of perfumes on their website and Instagram. Please check them out. For example, for Sincere, they have beautiful photo of naked body with kind of like almond holding where the nipple is. So sexy, a little bit provoking, a little bit on the edge. I want more perfumes from this brand. They're doing fabulous job, and I can only recommend you all to check them out. Please let me know if you'll do that, and please let me know which of these fragrances stood out the most to you. The ones that I recommend in full size are Sincere, Devious, nonchalant and infatuated, the ones that I have in full size too, but you can go for a discovery set and really decide for yourself, because the possibilities are endless, particularly if you layer them. So let me know which of these stood out the most to you. Let me know what do you think about contradictions in ilk. I find the concept is amazing, marketing is amazing, scents are amazing, everything is amazing. They get full amount of stars from Tommelise, and if you trust my taste, have some fun with them. So that was all from me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new for yourself. That will really help to grow my channel, guys. That will push this video so more people can watch it, and also subscribe to my channel so you can learn about these hidden brands. This one is brand new. It was launched in 2020 and I want to support it, so let's do that. And on that note, that was all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Your feedback is highly appreciated. Doesn't matter what you type in those comments, please do that, and stay tuned and smell good. We'll see each other in the next one really soon. Bye guys.